Okay, so I feel like I need to explain, say hi to Miska, by the way. It's my puppy Miska. But I feel like I need to explain, more about market makers and what we're doing here, because I know that, we're uploading a bunch of videos now, and, I've got my CFO, Denise, and I got my COO, Kenny. They're uploading videos now, and they're trying to share their message with you, and their content with you. Honestly, market makers, to me, the word itself changed my life. I started diving pretty deep in, what market makers are. When I was first getting started as a trader, I was struggling with Forex. I was seeing some profits every now and then. It was a common story when people start trading. I was seeing some profits every now and then, but I would lose it all whenever I got too cocky or too confident. And I was scrolling through Facebook. I was in a Facebook group for Forex traders, and someone said the word. I was like creeping on a conversation, and someone said the word market maker. And I was like, like that. It just sparked my interest. I don't even remember what the conversation was about, but it sparked my interest enough to start diving into it. And I started doing my research. I found a bunch of other information, and that's how I pieced my strategy together as a trader. I literally base my entire strategy off of market makers. Now, if you don't know what market makers are, it's basically it's the banks. Simply put, it's the banks. All these big banks that you put your money with. If you're here in America, at least Chase, Wells Fargo. I think they're all international as well. So you might, if you're overseas, you might be banking with these banks as well. But market makers are banks. They literally the real enemy here is banks. It's not the government. It's not whatever else you can think of. The real enemy here is banks. They don't want you to make money. They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to be free personally. There's so many misconceptions about the financial market and finances in general, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to educate, because like I said, the word itself, the word itself changed my life as a trader. But then I started diving deep, and I was like, look, people are coming into my program. They're making money or whatever, but there's still something missing. There's still something missing. There's still something wrong here. And I realized that, I was kind of driving people to a system that was just another vehicle. I'm sure you guys see ads for them all the time. Hey, make money with Shopify. Hey, make money drop shipping. Hey, make money trading. Make money doing this, selling that, with this course and that program. There's so many different things out there to make money. And I was doing the exact same thing. I was like, all right, I've started making money with Forex. I'm going to teach other people how to do the same. But it doesn't help if that person is going to get taxed 30, 40% when they actually do make money. It doesn't help when brokers or regulators are tightening up our leverage on our brokerages. There's so many different things that don't add to the equation if we don't educate. So many people don't understand our financial system at all. I didn't for a while, and I'm still learning things to this day. So it's not like I'm an expert or anything. It's just I know what's helped me to change my life, and all I want to do is give back. I just want to scream to the heavens and tell everyone about this information, because it's so screwed up, man. The way that our financial system, our economy, and it doesn't matter if you're in America or not. If you're overseas, your economy is probably screwed too, because it's all centralized banks, and they're trying to control the world. They're trying to make us slaves. It's really screwed up information. And then we blame the government. We blame, Donald Trump, and we point our finger at Congress, and we point our finger at all these other people, all these talking heads that are on CNN, and Fox all the time, but they're not the ones causing our problems. They're not the cause of poverty. Like, we have enough resources in the world. Like, overpopulation is bullshit. We have enough resources for everyone to be fed. We have enough resources for everyone to have a home. We have enough resources for everyone to be well off and doing well. And I'm not talking about being, what's the word I'm looking for here? Was it socialism or whatever? Like, I'm not saying like everyone has to have the same amount of money. I'm just saying like there are ways to fix the problem. And I'm not saying with market makers we're trying to rebel. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just, if there's going to be a proper way to succeed and thrive in this world, and there's literally a rule book written on how to succeed and thrive financially in this world, but they made it confusing on purpose. I want to simplify it, and I want to broadcast it to the world. That's the goal of market makers, because that's what banks are doing. I'll break it down for you. I'm going to try to break it down as simply as possible. This is what banks do to affect your life, and you don't even realize they're affecting your life. What they do, or what they did, is over the centuries, literally centuries, they have lobbied. They've lobbied, they put up big dollars to get laws their way. They've made threats. People have been assassinated. That's part of the reason why Abe Lincoln was assassinated. There have been attempted assassinations. They have made it so that they have power and they have their hand in the pocket of our governments. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're in America, Europe, it doesn't fucking matter at all, actually, because they have their hand in every government's pocket. And what they do is they keep everyone on a debt-based financial system, when the world doesn't have to be on a debt-based financial system. Every economy has started to shift to a debt-based financial system. And guess what? Guess what country, or I'm sorry, how do I say it so that it's simple? Basically, with us being on debt-based economies, every country is in debt to banks right now. It's not the country in debt just because it's in debt to banks, all right? And what they do is they lobby, they pay big bonuses to to politicians and stuff. They fund their political campaigns. They get them put into the office. Banks basically say, hey, Trump, I'm going to fund your campaign. Just make sure you take care of me when you're in office. That's what they do. That's what they do. And they limit your ability to make money, okay? They keep the countries of the world in debt so that they can make money off of interest and make you a slave. It's all about controlling the quantity of currency. So basically, as market makers, I know I'm rambling, but I want to educate you guys. I have so much to say, The goal of market makers is really to say, look, there's a rule book out there. I'm not trying to change the rule book, at least not yet. But, at least we can play by the rules until then. We can play by the rules until then. We can live like the 1% if we want to. Most people just don't know how. They don't have the information. They don't have the education. They don't have the resources to take them there. And even if they do, we have YouTube, we have Google, we have all these search tools and, all this technology around us to get information. It's just most people don't take the time to actually study it and educate themselves and simplify it and digest it so that it makes sense. And even if they do, it doesn't tie up with the right information. Because there is a lot of false information out there because everyone's trying to perceive this thing the correct way. And my goal is to knock it out the bud or nip it in the bud and simplify it for all of you guys. So that's what a market maker is. A market maker traditionally is, the banks, but we as market makers, we're relentless producers of wealth, health, and purpose.